Hello children, good morning. Children, today in English class we shall be taking unit 7, So Long, So Lang. Okay, So Lang is a place, it's a hill station situated in Manali Manali is a kind of hill station in Himachal Pradesh. Okay children, so in this lesson we shall be coming across a family who is very excited to visit a hill station. Okay. Every one of y'all are, I think you all know what is a hill station. Okay. Now here in this place, what is the great thing about this place is it's a snowy area. Okay, where we can see the snowfall. Who don't like to enjoy the snowfall? Everyone, even you and even me. Right. So snowfall, it's the most beautiful thing which we can see in our life. Right children. So here a family is visiting Solang Valley in Manali or Himachal Pradesh. Okay, every one of y'all open page number 31 English textbook. 1 second. So Canaan, okay, Canaan is a boy, a little boy, sat by his window and looked out. Snow fell down in the gentle drifts like cotton from a torn pillow. Okay, how was it? The snow was falling. It was like feathers. That means the cotton pieces of small pieces of cotton. If we are tearing our pillow and we are just shuffling the cotton, and how it will fall with the air, and it was looking in that way, the snowfall. It was a beautiful sight to see. The closest thing he had seen akin to snow was the frost in his grandmother's old refrigerator when he went to stay with her for a couple of weeks during summer holidays. So this scene, the snowfall scene, was so beautiful that he was unable to digest and couldn't explain the excitement. Before he did not see a snowfall anywhere. Instead, when he used to go to his grandmother's house, he has seen the snow. That means what we call some balls of ice, frosty ice in the refrigerator. Nowadays, the refrigerators are well modified. We cannot see the ice forming in the freezer part. Okay, they are very modular. But in the old refrigerators, we can still see the ice formation in the refrigerator. That means freezer area. So this guy, Kenan, used to see only the frost in his grandmother's fridge. Okay. But this was the first time when he was enjoying the snowfall. Every morning he would scrape off some frost and make a ball of it in his fist. During those times he had wished for an opportunity to see snow for real. That time have arrived. So here the boy was sitting near the window and he was just thinking how he used to enjoy the frost from the refrigerator, from the freezer area. He used to scrape, that means take it out, cutting out the ice, and he used to make that ice with a small ball, and he used to play. At those times he used to think that what if I wish I could visit the snowy area where snowfall occurs, and I wish to see those with my eyes. And that time has come when he was going to the snowfall area. One day in December, his father came home early and waved the tickets in his face. One day, what happened in the month of December? His father came home early from the office and he took out the tickets from his pocket and was waving near his face. Waving means just the tickets he was just showing near his face. Papa, is it for real? Canaan just couldn't believe it. He was just saying, Papa, is it real that we are going to Manali? Then, oh yes, we are off to Manali towards the end of March. Philip smiled and nodded his head after your exams. Now Philip is his father, Kenaan's father. He is telling that yes, we are going to Manali in the month of March, end of March after completion of your exams. Wow. Kenan was at the loss for words. So Kenan was just saying, wow, really exciting. In April, you will be turning 10 years old. This is our birthday gift for you, Rita said. So Rita is Kenan's mother. She's saying, see, in April you are going to be, it's your 10th birthday. So take this one as our birthday gift to you. Oh, Mama, I don't know how to thank you both. Kenan crooned happily. To swooning means what? Sighing happily. Okay, he said, Mama, thank you, Mama, and thank you, Father. You guys have made my day. That means I am unable to understand how to express my words. Just be a good boy, Rita laughed. So Rita, the Kenan's mother is saying, you just try to be a good boy, that's more than enough. You don't need to give us anything. After the ordeal of the exams, annual exams, Canon looked forward to his great holiday. It was a tedious train journey from Kochi to Delhi and then by bus to Manali. Canon and his parents held their breath as the narrow road snaked through the rocky terrain. Canon admired the bus driver for his skill in driving on the difficult roads. Now after the completion of the exams of Canon, he was looking forward for the end of the march so that they can start going there, and the day came when they started towards the Himachal Pradesh Manali Valley, the Solang Valley. Okay, it was much tedious journey. Tedious means long journey. They have taken the train from Kochi to Delhi. So these guys stay in Kochi. From there they have visited to Delhi, and from there they have taken the bus to Manali. And the we know the how the hill station roads will be. It is a cart road, right? So the hills, they need to travel towards the hills. So the roads will be like a snake. Okay, how the snake will slither. So in that way the roads will be. So this guy, while sitting in the bus, he was just noticing how the driver is so much experienced to take so many guys, that too in such a difficult road, how he was driving and how beautiful his concentration was. By the time they checked into the cottage, there were cottage where they were going to stay, they were all dead tired. So finally they reached the place where they wanted to go, and after reaching there, they have booked one cottage. It is a hotel room. Hotel room is not a big hotel. There will be individual cottages like our individual houses. So there they have checked in. Checked in means got inside the cottage, and at that day they were completely tired because they have travelled so long, right? But Canon was too excited to sleep. He was not at all like feeling to sleep. He just wanted to explore the ice, the snowfall the very next day morning. But his mother was telling you, please sleep or else you will be getting tired. Save for the pines and firs, all other trees had shed their leaves. There was a chance in the weather, and there was a change in the weather, and suddenly it began to snow. So it suddenly they have seen this. Canon was seeing outside all the fir trees and the pine trees. See, the fir trees and the pine trees grow only in the snowy areas. Okay, there will be pointed trees, like the trees will be having the cone shape. Okay. These might be you have seen in the movies. So these kind of shapes the trees will be, because they are modified in such a way because it's a snowfall area, right? Whatever snow is falling here, it will be slided down. Okay, that's the reason naturally the trees are modified in this way. So this guy, while he was watching outside, there was a change in the weather, and suddenly it started to snowfall. Suddenly it began to snow. Canon watched in awe as snow drifted down, covering the rooftops, the treetops and the ground. So by seeing outside, Canon was awestruck. He was very happy how the snow was falling on the treetops, on the rooftops and on the floor, ground. There was a ghostly silence all around, except for the faint rustle of sound and the occasional crackle of the fire in the hearth. Hearth means in the room, especially in the snowy areas, in the rooms they will arrange one bonfire inside the room. Okay, so that place where we burn the wood to keep our room warm, so that place is known as hearth. So the complete that night, the complete surroundings was completely silence because everyone were sleeping, and we can only listen the sound in that bonfire. Okay, from the fire we are getting the sound. This guy is getting the sound of that fire, little bit cracking sound, and faint rustle of snow, like small falling of this, like very slight sound. We can't even imagine that much light sound. Cannon will sleep now, Rita said. We have to be at Solang Valley tomorrow by 10 in the morning. Now Rita, mother of Cannon, is telling him that Cannon, let's sleep. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we need to be at Solang Valley. Isn't it beautiful, Mama? I don't think I would be able to sleep a wink, Cannon grinned. Now with a big smile he was telling, Mama, look outside, it's so beautiful. I don't think so that I'm going to sleep tonight. Now you'd better, or else you'll be very tired tomorrow. You won't be able to enjoy the day, Philip said. Now Dad of Cannon is saying, you'd better sleep or else you'll become very tired. You'll not be enjoying your picnic tomorrow. Better have some rest. That finally got Cannon into bed. No sooner had he snuggled under the blanket than he drifted off to sleep. His excitement could not hold him up much longer. So, when Philip said, you please sleep or else you'll be much tired, then Cannon thought of sleeping for a while. Immediately he snuggled into his bed, he covered himself and he was about to sleep, but suddenly drifted off his sleep. That means he was fast asleep, but it could not hold him longer. That means he was not at all completely sleeping. He got up immediately again after an hour ended. The next day dawned bright and clear. Then the next day immediately it was bright and clear. The snowfall stopped. The air was crisp and thankfully it did not snow. So the air was crisp. That means with very bright sunlight, and what we call the air was moderate. After breakfast, the family set off for Solang Valley in a taxi. So after having the breakfast, this family, 3 members, Rita, Philip and Cannon, have taken to Solang Valley in the taxi. The roads were narrow and treacherous, very narrow, very small, only one vehicle can go, okay, one after the other vehicles can go. And the treacherous means dangerous, okay, treacherous means what, children? Dangerous. We cannot take any risk in that place. Excavators were at work. Excavators are the machines which will clear up the snow, clearing the boulders that had fallen on the roads. There was snow everywhere because before night it had snowed, right? There was a snowfall, heavy snowfall. There was snow everywhere. It took almost an hour to reach Solang Valley, as Philip had told the driver to go slowly so that they could enjoy the scenery on the way. So Philip, Cannon's father, have told to the driver to not to risk and drive slowly because the road was narrow as well as it was little dangerous. And not only that, they even wanted to enjoy the scenery. That's the reason he have requested to the driver to drive little slowly. Solang Valley was very crowded. Crowded means there were many people over there. People from all over India had come there to experience snow, it seemed. They were engaged in different kinds of sports. Parasailing seemed to be a popular activity on the activity there. So parasailing is a kind of a parachute, and we have to tie ourselves with the parachute and we have to fly in the air. The parachute will be above us. It is like a very famous sport over there, and they'll do for their hobby also. What do you want to do, Cannon? Philip asked after reaching there. See, the people were enjoying the scenery. They were clicking pics. They were even skiing. Skiing is somewhat which is done on the snow. You can see in this picture. So they'll be wearing a kind of a different boots, and there will be a stand under the boots. Okay. So, and there will be, we have to hold some of the what we call a kind of a sticks in our hand for the support. Okay, children. And this kind of a sport is known as skiing. So now here Philip is asking to Cannon, so what you wanted to do? Cannon was too awestruck to speak because after seeing so many things there, he was awestruck. He stopped for a while. Snow, snow, snow everywhere. Without giving an answer, Cannon jumped into the snow. His happiness was too much for words. He jumped into the snow and his happiness was, he was unable to express his happiness. He rolled some snow and threw it at his mother. So he had rolled some snow and made it into a ball. He threw it at his mother. Rita in turn made a ball of snow and threw it at Cannon. Philip watched them amused. He was then taken back. when both of them hit him suddenly with their snowball. So he was just, the Philip was just watching Canon and Rita, how they are enjoying. He was just smiling looking at them. But suddenly what happened, these two guys have thrown the snowball at Philip as well. Ha ha ha, Papa, this is so wonderful. Canon lay spread-legged on the snow and shouted at the top of his lungs. So Canon there, he felt, he sat there spread-legged. Okay, he sat with his spreading of his legs and he was shouting in the happiness. Papa, really it's very, very happy. I mean, it's very, I'm very, very happy seeing all this. Come on, let's decide what to do. Philip checked his pocket. I got the permits, alright. Now Philip said, come on, let's decide what to do, what we will join, I mean which sport we will take up. He got some permits, that means some tickets. Then he took out the tickets and was saying, let's go skiing, Papa. It should be fun, Canon said. Now Canon is saying, let's go for skiing. Okay, now let's go find an instructor and rent a few things, Philip said. Now they were searching for a person, the guide or the instructor who will help them in the skiing. It was not hard to get an instructor or the ski gear. Millet was a patient man who trained holiday makers who had no prior experience in skiing. He helped Philip, Rita and Canon with their equipment. Now here Philip went and brought the equipment, as I told you all, the shoe blades and the supporters. He had brought everything. See, you can see this is Philip, this is Canon, this is Rita, and this guy is Millen, the instructor. He have taught, that means he have instructed and given the training to many of the visitors, many of the tourists. Even he is helping these three guys to how to ski on the snow. Now that the skies were strapped on, Canon found it very hard to walk. It was like walking on an oily floor. So it was like it was very smooth. Okay, it was looking like he was walking on the oily floor. Canon quite a few times he slipped. So did Philip and Rita. So many times he slipped. While we are walking in the water only, if you are walking and suddenly slipping without noticing the water, will slip like anything. So just imagine what will happen if we are skiing on the snow. So Philip, Rita and Canon, three of them were slipping and again they were managing to stand up. They laughed at each other and fell down more times than they could count. Canon watched wonderstruck as a few people whoosed past, zigzagging in the sky. Now Canon was watching other guys, how they were easily going in the sky. I want to ski like them, Canon whined. Now Canon was telling that even I wanted to go like them. You will after 3 days, Melinda smiled. Now Melinda, the instructor, was telling to Canon, don't worry, even you will learn, but in 3 days. The first day was all about getting used to the snow. First day, they were just trying to get used to the snow. Milind taught them some small stretches and balancing exercise which he said would come in handy while skiing. Canon thought he could do well and tried to move but landed face down in the snow. Now when Milind was teaching them first day and the second day they learned nicely, Canon tried to do more things on his own without the instruction, but he was falling down, like facing downwards to the earth. It was really frustrated. He realized that the people who were good at skiing had preserved a lot despite the initial struggles. Nothing comes easy, he learned. So there Canon learned nothing can be easy. We have to work hard to achieve anything. On the second day, they could do better but still found themselves flat on the snow most of the time. The second day also they were trying but they were falling flat, though they were trying much. On the third day, their skills improved and they could move past each other, but they did not know how to stop. Milind taught them how to apply brakes by making an inverted V with the skis without overlapping their tips. And it worked. Now here, third day they learned, but they did not know how to stop themselves. They were going, sliding, but they do not know how to apply the brakes. Here, Milind, the instructor, have taught them how to stop by making the legs into V. Okay, we have to stand. We have to stand when we are stopping. We have to keep our legs like this in the shape of V. Then only we can stop. Here, instructor. Yahoo! I have done it, Mama. Now he is telling, "Oh, Cannon, I have done it. I did, Papa. See. Cannon was full of excitement and had a sense of pride, finally achieving what he had initially thought to be frustrating exercise. Now, finally, Cannon learned how the skiing, and he was very happy. And he thought, see, first day it was so frustrating, the exercise and the instruction to learn the skiing. But today I have done it. Easily, he is telling to himself and to his parents. He was truly happy. He skied again and again, hardly falling down. Milind clapped his hands in admiration. "You are a fast learner." Now here Milind was seeing him. He was learning very well to Cannon. Milind himself clapped his hands and he was looking at him with lots of admiration, and he was saying to him, "You are a fast learner, Cannon." Cannon beamed. He was like very happy. After 10 days, it was time to return home. So after 10 days, what happened? The time was to return home. Cannon put his head out of the car window. "So long, Solang," he was telling. Out of the window, he was just putting his head and he was telling, "So long, Solang. Now I don't know when I'm going to come back again. I shall miss you, but you have given me so many wonderful memories." He shouted and waved. He shouted from outside the window. He was waving to Solang Valley and he was shouting with some missing feeling. Both Philip and Rita wanted to express their happiness by shouting out the joyous farewell like Cannon. But they were grown-ups. They were wary of presence of the driver and other tourists just outside the car. Philip and Rita felt each other's desire to be children again. Now, even Philip and Rita wanted to shout like Cannon, but they know that even the driver is sitting there, and even some of the other people are standing outside of the car. They cannot be like, they cannot shout like Cannon, right? They are very grown up and it doesn't look nice. So they wish that they can become the children again. See, everyone wanted to be a child one or the other time, right? Where we can do whatever we like. Aware of the impossibility of their desire, they looked at each other and smiled, and then pulled Cannon and hugged him tight. So after seeing that finally, well, we are grown up, we should not do like that. And they have taken the Cannon, and both of them have hugged Cannon very tightly. "My best holiday ever. Thank you." Cannon hugged them back. In that moment, the trio shared their feelings with each other. Although not much was spoken, they understood one another by the warmth of the embrace, and they know that they shared experience. This experience would always stay with them. They hugged each other, the three of guys, and they said to each other, "This was the best holiday we have enjoyed." So they did not say any word, but by feeling each other's hug, they were just telling to themselves that it was really the spellbound. That means if we enjoy to our heartfelt content, that means the heartfelt content, we are awestruck, right children? There we cannot speak. So I hope even you guys have enjoyed this lesson, the story of Cannon. So long, so long. Okay, in the next video we shall be writing the notes of this lesson. So once again you guys go through the lesson and explain to your friends or your parents. Okay children, bye bye.